we all heard of liens, but what most people don't realize is that liens can sometimes be placed on your property without you even knowing it. Just imagine this for one moment. You're going about your life making plans to sell or refinance your house, and suddenly you find out there's a freaking lien on your property. The lien could be from unpaid property taxes, a contractor, or even a legal judgment. But the worst part is that you didn't even know about it until this very critical moment. So today we'll go over step by step through how this can happen, how to find out if it's already happened, and how to protect yourself. Let's get right into it. This is really difficult to grasp. So can this actually happen for real? Yep, it can. In certain cases, liens can be filed against your property without you even being immediately notified or even without any heads up or a warning. Let's break this down. When a lien is placed on your house, depending on the type of lien, the lien holder might not be required by law to notify you directly, leaving you in the dark until it's officially filed. This is very dangerous, especially if this lien can trigger a foreclosure, and some liens absolutely can, so stick around. Now, you might be thinking, how is this even legal to do such a thing, right?
The real question is this: was all this legal?
How can someone put a lien on your house without even telling you? Well, it all comes down to the types of the lien. In some cases, the law allows lien holders to file a lien without needing to notify you right away, especially when it comes to, yes, tax liens or even mechanics liens. It's perfectly legal, but it can feel like shock when you're not expecting it. Let's talk about the types of liens that can show up without you knowing. There are a few common ones that tend to fly under the radar. This is why I'm having this conversation with you, because here's what you need to watch out for. If you owe back taxes, whether it's property taxes or even income taxes, the government can place a lien on your property. And while the notice might come by mail, it's possible that you have missed it, especially if you've moved or if the notice gets lost in the shuffle. You know how the USPS post office works, don't you? They're not the best at what they do sometimes, let's be honest. These liens are very dangerous because they can lead to foreclosure on your house if they are not addressed immediately. I had a client who was selling her home, and she had no idea that there was a tax lien on the property from unpaid property taxes from 5 years ago. We only found out during the title search, and it could have completely derailed the sale. I had another client that I was selling their house, and during the sale, a lien holder filed a foreclosure on the property, and we had to convince the lien holder to agree to get paid during the closing from the proceeds, because my client did not have any money to pay off the debt before the closing. Luckily, we were able to do that. Can you imagine? Trust me, you do not want to go through this. Now let's look at a mechanics liens. If you recently or some time ago had repairs done on your home, if you didn't pay the full amount to contractors or even subcontractors, they could actually file a lien without you even knowing. Sometimes the contractors won't notify you at all. All they will do is they'll just file the lien and it'll sit there until you're ready to sell or refinance. I've seen this happen more than once with homeowners who had small renovations done but didn't even finalize the payment because they weren't happy. Months later, they decided to sell their house. We found a buyer, we went through the home inspection, got into contract, and surprise! During the title search, a mechanics lien shows up and delays the entire process. This isn't something that you want to discover during the sale of your house. It's best to find out if there are any liens on your property beforehand, which I will get to how you can find out if there are any liens on your house in a moment. But before we do this, I just want to also mention about the judgment liens. This type of lien comes from a court judgment. Maybe you lost a lawsuit, or maybe you didn't even realize the case went that far. Either way, a judgment lien can be placed on your home without any fanfare, leaving you completely unaware of this lien until you try to make a move on your property. So how do you check if there's a lien on your house, right? This is a critical step, especially if you've got any debts, disputes, or outstanding payments. Here's what you should do. The first thing I would do is check with the public records. Liens are public records, and this is the good news. You can check your county records office or their website to search for any liens attached to your property. It's a quick and simple process, and it could save you a huge headache later. You can also hire a title company for a title search. A title company can do a full title search on your property and even on your personal name to find out if there are any liens filed or attached to your home. This is a crucial step before you sell or refinance your home. It'll give you a complete picture of what's going on behind the scenes. Watch your mail closely. Sometimes notices about liens come in regular mail, but they can easily get lost or overlooked. So make sure you're opening all of your mail from creditors, the IRS, or even from contractors. A lien notice could be hiding in there, and missing it could mean a big problem later on. So, what happens if you do find out there's a lien on your property? The good news is that you have options, and I love when you have options. Pay it off or negotiate. The most straightforward way to remove a lien is to just pay it off, right? But what if the amount is too high? You can try to negotiate with the lien holder. In some cases, they might be willing to accept a lower payment to settle the debt. You can also dispute the lien. If you think that the lien is incorrect, you can dispute it. This is especially important for mechanics liens. If you believe the contractor didn't fulfill their part of the agreement, be sure to have all your documentation ready to support your claim. Documentation is very important in this situation. Without documentations, you won't stand a chance. Maybe you might want to consider working with a real estate agent, whether you're selling or refinancing. Make sure your agent knows about the liens. They'll help guide you through the process and negotiate with the buyer if necessary. Many buyers are willing to work with sellers who are resolving a lien, as long as it's disclosed upfront. Here's the truth. If you don't check for liens and address them, they can grow into a much bigger problem. The longer you wait, the more interest and penalties will build up, and the lien holder could eventually foreclose on your house. Ignoring it won't make it go away, and by the time you realize what's happening, it could be too late. So now that you know someone can place a lien on your house without you even knowing, you're probably wondering, who's actually allowed to do this, and are they required to inform you at all? The truth might surprise you. That's exactly what I'll be covering in my next video, where I'll dive into who can legally put a lien on your house and why they might not have to notify you. So hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss it. Trust me, you'll want to stay informed.